I mean, as we say, there's going to be a lot of crises that whoever the new government is on Friday will have to fix. One of them, of course, is the prison service, which we're told this morning is now facing an absolute crisis because it's so full that it's a one-in, one-out rule. Incredible stuff. Let's talk, though, to Peter Bleksley, former Metropolitan Police detective, of course, because the story this morning that we're going to do with him is Lucy Letby, child serial killer, as she's described, was yesterday found guilty of trying to murder another premature baby less than 2 hours after she was born. Peter, very good morning to you.
Good morning.
It's a grim old story, this, isn't it? And it's another one. She's already, of course, serving time in prison for previous convictions of a similar nature. Why was it that this one was done separately?
It was a case that when Letby originally had her trial, which lasted for 10 months,
right,
and the jury had a whole raft of decisions to consider, they were unable to reach a verdict on this case. Now, to me, that's not surprising at all because, of course, the original jury convicted Letby of 7 murders and 6 attempted murders. So having heard 10 months of evidence, imagine the amount of time that the jury had to deliberate over everything that they'd seen and heard during that mammoth trial. On this case, the attempted murder of baby Kay, they were unable to reach a definitive verdict. So quite rightly, the CPS decided to put her on trial again for this single offence. And the jury yesterday, after only 3 hours, returned a unanimous verdict, meaning Letby now is convicted of 7 murders of babies and 10 counts of attempted murder of babies.
And is this the end of the trials that you're expecting to see then?
Yes, I don't think that we will see any more. Letby, of course, will spend the rest of her sad, miserable existence in prison, and rightly so. What I think we can expect to see in the upcoming months are a number of inquiries into the decision-making processes at the Countess of Chester Hospital, because what clearly didn't happen is that matters weren't flagged up quickly enough, soon enough, promptly enough, professionally enough, which allowed Letby to carry on her murderous spree for much longer than she should have done.
And isn't it also the case that even when sometimes the attention of the authorities was drawn to what was going on and what she might be doing, that there was a kind of a genuine kind of, slow reaction, that nobody really wanted to do much about it? It seemed as though they didn't really want to believe the people that were telling them those stories.
And it's exactly this kind of faffing around that lies at the very heart of public services, and I believe creates so much discord and frustration amongst the general public. It's almost like all of our public services are set up so that there is never any accountability of those who occupy prominent positions, get huge pay packets and gilt-edged pensions. These are the people, when they fail in their public roles, should be held to account. At the very least, heads should rolls. And when there is criminal neglect, we need to see people standing trial and being suitably punished.
Yes. And just before I let you go, Peter, I want to ask you about this prisons crisis that we seem to be facing. I mean, this is not news to me, and I'm sure it's not news to you either, but the prison service apparently is in a big crisis at the moment because they're operating a sort of one-in, one-out rule. They're so full to the gunnels that they haven't literally got any space to put people in. So that's having a direct effect on police and how police are able to hold people in custody or not in custody. You know, it's a shambles, isn't it?
It really is, and we've had directives from the Department of Justice to magistrates and judges to say, don't jail people. In other circumstances, people that should go to prison are simply not being sent to jail. And what does that mean? It means they are free to reoffend. It means that the streets of Britain are a bit less safe, and it just contributes to this inescapable fact that we live in increasingly lawless Britain.
Yeah, I'm afraid I have to agree with every single second of that statement. Peter, very good to talk to you. Thank you very much indeed. Peter Bleksley, former Metropolitan Police detective, of course.